right. Oh, here's my 140.457 lap. First, I'm just gonna run it from within the cockpit. And then I'm gonna do it slow-mo from the cockpit with notes, and then from outside of the car with notes. This is my lessons learned series that I do at the end of each week with notes, mainly for myself to remember lines, breaking points, tips and tricks, so that when I come back here next season or with another car at a later time, my learning curve is kind of reduced because I can go back to these notes. So. Should be a pretty clean lap. It was in a race, 2020 Season 2, Week 6, I believe, at Catalunya. It's the classic layout from the 90s, I think circa 95. IMSA in a BMW. Shows up as 40.45, but it was I think 457 or 447. So let me go back, and we're just gonna do the same thing here, but with some slow motion. I went to the right to try to grab a little bit of a draft from the cars ahead of me. I don't think they've really actually done anything. Now, in terms of braking, brake right at the light. If I brake at 100, that's a little late. So I need to brake right around the light, 6th gear down to 2nd gear. So brake now, 5, 4, 3, and then as you start the turn, and you can get down into the 2nd gear. Now there is a little mini sausage right here. Preferably you don't want to go over it. You can actually put the right wheel just to the right of it. Let me see if I can catch it just to the right of it, and you're not going to get a 1x, and it obviously cuts the corner quite a bit. So I went inside of it rather than outside, and then here you can put a left wheel up. You want to cut the corner more on the exits. It's kind of a late apex. I stay in 2nd. Sometimes I jump into 3rd right here, but I get on the 2nd, ease off the throttle here, then back on the throttle as I come out. So ease off the throttle here, and then back on the throttle here, all the way to the red line, jump into 3rd. Now the strategy for this next section is you go, I don't go all the way to the left, I stay about midway through, and then when the Pirelli sign is pretty much straight ahead of me is when you're going to feel the car pulling away from the apex. So that's when you want to get off, let the car slide back in. I will walk to that in just a sec. So on the gas, fully on the gas, and right around here you can start easing off the gas. Maybe even tap the brakes a little bit. You want to come in. You want to hug the curbing right here, and then when you see this orange, I guess they have marked this because this is where you're gonna see a lot of people start to accelerate. A lot of the guides from other websites will tell you the same. So I've noticed that really works. You can really get on the full gas here. Fully, almost on it fully now. There it is. Now I'm at 100%. It's going to carry you all the way out to the left, hop in the 4th gear. There's grass here, but in fact, many times I'm even further out to the left. Right there where the grass was, as long as you don't touch the grass, but you can even come all the way out here, you don't get a 1x. So this is all good. You can come all the way out to the left, you have your left wheel out on the green paint, and then in terms of braking, I will brake momentarily here, and you can go pretty hard on the brakes down to the second gear, and then I hug the barrier on the right hand side, or the curbing rather. So on the brakes, fourth, third, start getting off the brakes a little bit, stay tight, tiny amount of gas. You could make it into somewhat of a double apex, come a little wide here, and then you could stay a little bit more tight. This lap, I was really accelerating fully. You can come all the way out to the curbing here. It's very smooth. And then you want to start coming to the right. Where these tire marks end, right after that, you want to start braking right around here, down to first gear. I try to avoid getting onto the curbing here because I've just had issues getting onto the green paint and it becomes pretty slippery here, so I've spun out here a couple of times. So start braking here. You go pretty hard on the brakes. 4, I guess I could have gone even harder. I'm only going about 50, 60%. Third, down a second. You definitely want to late apex this turn. So you want to stay just to the right of the curbing and then down into the first gear. It will help tighten this curve. Maximum input right now on the steering wheel. Oh, it's still going. Okay, I went a little bit wide. Ideally, you're really hitting the, can't see it here in this view, but ideally you are much tighter because it will allow you to get on the gas a little bit sooner. And then here you want to use up all of the exit space that you have here. You are not going to get a 1x, at least not on this historic circuit, even if the middle part of your car is past this red and green line divider. So here you're fully on the gas. Cut the corner here a little bit, and then as I approach this next turn, I brake right here, just before the curbing on the right side. I try to hit the curbing with just for a tiny bit. Third gear, sometimes I do the whole thing in a third gear. Second gear, again, helps tighten up this turn-in. You can take a little bit of the curb on the exit, and then here you want to start applying. I could have applied more gas early on. You can come, actually here, you can come all the way a little bit more to the right, and you want to avoid this sausage. So you can come to the right, and just before the sausage, you wanna exit onto the left side, like so. Stay on the left-hand side and initiate the turn-in just before the end of the curbing, and then get on the brakes here as you go in a straight line. I stay in the fourth gear. You can downshift the third, but the fourth is a little bit better. Third kind of takes you close to the red line, and just past this little sausage here, you want to late apex this. You can start getting on the gas just past the sausage. So right here, get on the gas. Could have even come on it a little bit more. Here you want to be careful. You don't want to hit. You want to carry your speed, and you can hit again the curbing here, but you want to do it past this last orange cone. Otherwise, you're gonna get an off track. So you're really shooting for the spot right here in terms of coming out onto the green markings right here. That's fine. and here you're pretty much carrying the speed all the way. Now in terms of braking, I will brake right at the 100 or just past it. You definitely need to be on the brakes by the time you go under this signage. So brakes pretty hard. Could have stayed a little bit more to the right. Probably taken a little bit of it is a late apex, but I've executed more as a double apex. So hit this. I think I go down into the first gear. The first gear, if you're in the first gear, it's gonna hug it pretty tightly. It's okay to come out a little bit. What you want to do here is preferably it is a double apex. See how I'm relaxing the steering input here a little bit, which is gonna carry me out. But ideally, you're coming a little bit more from the deeper in the track because you can be on the gas sooner. See, I'm not 100% yet. You want to pretty much hit the second apex right here. So come from here. You want to straight line this. Now I'm a full on the gas, 100%. Ideally, you're straight lining it here, and you want to. I'm not gonna go quite as far left as the Ford. I go right around here, and then I apply brakes right past these tire marks right here. So I'm starting to get on the brakes. Third, down to second, and again here, this corner you can do as a double apex, which you can do if you have somebody right in front of you, and if you want to try to get a little bit more of an exit speed or exit speed. The other alternative is that you just hug this in the second gear. First gear, if you go down in first gear, you can just to help tighten up your the radius, but you probably want to short shift to second as you're coming out, otherwise you're going to spin the tires. So here, just past the sausage that unfortunately you cannot see in the view, but it is just to the right of this. This is when you can start getting on the gas slowly. And you can see that I'm kind of not quite on the gas yet, 100%. If it was more of a double apex, could have gotten on the gas sooner. And here you're pretty much 100% on the gas. Oh, actually, I think I managed to hit that car. And I've just noticed I'm actually doing this on lap 6. I wanted to do it on lap 5. But that doesn't change the guide. And my lines have been pretty consistent. I go back just a little bit because the car was there. I obviously couldn't have gone all the way to the left. You want to brake. You actually don't need to brake here. You can tap the brakes a little bit, but as you're coming past these cones, you can get the right wheels onto the green paint here and not have a 1x. This will allow you to carry more speed out, and actually here, when you come out, you can again put 2 wheels onto the green paint here, but you want to just come back in just before the sausage. And then here, usually I'm higher in the RPMs. You must brake here. It's early brake, kind of coast with very little input. I hit the third here to help me turn in, but here you can get back on the gas again full, 100%. Take as much of this green paint as you need to. If you do get into in the stones here, if you have just a little bit of the gas input, it's not going to spin you out, and you actually don't lose a whole lot of time, maybe a half a second or a second, as long as you keep your line relatively straight and obviously don't spin out. So if you do find yourself going a little bit wide, it's okay to get into the pebbles. Just significantly reduce your gas input, and you can make it in less than a second. So that's pretty much it. So I'm gonna go back to actually be over here and I'm gonna show the far chase. Control F12 to change this. Actually, I'm not gonna do a far chase, just a chase. And for the clockwise circuits, I like to come on kind of at this angle so I can also see the right side of the car. Here, okay. Looks good. Slow it down here. As we're approaching getting on the brakes just before the lights. Keeping the left wheel on. Well, looks like I had a little bit of a wobble. Down a third, down a second. Again, you can put the right wheel just to the right of the sausage. Went a little wide here. Oops. Didn't mean to do that. Just meant to switch here. It's a late apex. Here you can put two wheels on. Could have even done a little bit more, taken more of the curb. Go a little wide. Off the gas, tap the brakes, come nice and tight. Could have come even a little bit closer, and then you start to accelerate, getting on the gas, and almost full gas at this point. Carry the speed, let it carry you all the way to the left. You can see that, the left wheel, keep it right on the curbing. Seems like it's got a little bit better, a little bit of a better braking. If you are staying, if you're on the paint, it seems a little bit more slippery. Definitely slippery on this drainage. So you want to stay just on the curbing and brake right around here. So let's see. Boom. Yep, getting on the brakes just before the bridge. And here, coming in tight, staying on the brakes, just a little bit of a trail brake. When you feel the car is no longer sliding, you can get off the brakes. That will allow you to carry as much speed in here as possible. This is definitely an area where you can find more speed. You just have to play with it to make sure that you're not over braking. And here you start getting back on the gas. Start going wide, 100%. Let that carry you out, and then as soon as you're past the brake markers, right there, you get on the brakes. Now I could have I should have stayed on the brakes here a little bit more. Went too far to the left. This should have been a later apex. I missed it. It was a bit of a middle apex. Should have come from here, and you want to be hitting the curbing here and coming out. Maybe not quite this late, but all the way out. Come out. This is all clean. You don't get a 1x here. Now, this is fine. You don't want to get any closer than that because if you hit the grass, you are going to spin out. Here, it's a late apex. You can start getting on the gas here. Pretty much as soon as you know you're going to be able to make the sausage, you get on the gas fully. You want to just avoid it. Usually actually come further out and you just avoid the sausage. Now you're back on the gas. Get on the curbing. a little bit of a brake, and you're just carrying some speed here. And here, as soon as you know you're gonna get past the sausage, you can start getting on the gas. Pretty much close to 100%. As soon as you know, actually, you go, past the sausage, but as soon as you know you make this exit, you want to avoid getting on the curbing before hitting the green here, before the cone. Looks like I did not get a 1x here. It was really close. That's probably as close as you want to be. And here, again, you can get 2 wheels onto the curb. I think I stayed just shy of that. It's pretty high speed, so I just found it a bit unnerving to getting on. I don't want to lose any braking capability here, so I just stayed just to the right of it. And ideally, really execute this as a double apex. So you hit the apex here, and then you can let it carry you a little bit wide. Could have come out. That was actually pretty good. And now you want to hit this. You want to be right here where the paint begins, because this will allow you to get on the gas 100%. Hug this, could have come even a little bit tighter, but I'm at 100% gas at this point. And then just past these tire markers, so right here where the green paint ends, on the brakes. And down a second. It's a late apex. There's a sausage coming up that you're gonna see it, and as soon as you see it, you can start getting back on the gas. This is more of a maintenance throttle, 67 miles an hour, not really increasing speed. Now just past this sausage here, I'm increasing my gas input, 67, 8, 9, 70, 71. Really can start leaning into it as soon as this red and white marking ends, and you know that you're gonna make it here. You don't want to get yourself into the pebbles here, because you need to start getting ready to brake. So let's see, I don't remember if I did have a slight tap of the brakes here. I think I did. Then you want to start turning in. If you just get off the gas, slow this down a little bit so it doesn't look like I'm braking. You want to get off the gas here. You want to obviously miss the cones, but you can put 2 wheels onto the green paint here. It's pretty forgiving in terms of off tracks. This is just fine. It allows you to carry quite a bit of speed here. You're not really accelerating, staying at about 111. And then you can come out wide. Yeah, sometimes I come out even wider. You obviously want to miss the sausage. And then here onto the brakes, just past where the sausage ends. Off the brakes, almost off the brakes. 113, 112, it's going to drop off a little bit more. You're scrubbing speeds just because of the turn radius, 108, 107. Could have been a little bit tighter. It's a late apex, 104, starting to get a little bit more gas, 103. And you're going to start picking up some speed here. 102. Here you're getting back on the gas here, and you can carry a lot of speed. 100% gas now, 107, 108. Preferably not putting 2 wheels off track, and you're fully accelerating at this point. So let me set it up from the rear view, just a little bit higher, and finish this. Okay, so let me do it one more time. gas in here at full speed. Okay, I'm gonna do the lap again at about half speed, and that will be it.